Welcome to the Trainer Talk, where we discuss topics related to health and fitness to help you gain back control of your health and fitness and become the absolute best version of yourself physically and mentally. Enjoy. Okay. Today we're talking about personal development, how to fit personal development into your daily routine, coined by Lauren Wedge. I think this is extremely important because if you're not learning or growing, you're actually going to be going the opposite direction, and that's what leads to getting out of shape or not knowing as much or falling short of your goals, whatever it is, as you age and get older. So we should constantly be challenging ourselves and looking for opportunity to learn and grow and become better, at every stage of our life, even obviously in high school or throughout college, beyond college, when you become a parent, things like that. There's so many different things that we should learn and try to grow as individuals, right? So what we want to do today is cover some simple ways that you can fit personal growth into your day without sacrificing a ton of time or effort. So we're going to go over kind of what our favorite things to do are that have helped us, not just in our health and fitness journey, but also just like even with like our careers as personal trainers, maybe some other areas of our lives that have helped us become better individuals, things like that. So I'll start with my favorite, which is I think it's probably the simplest thing that you can do. If you are somebody that has even a 5-minute drive to work, it's even better if you have a 10 or 15-minute drive to work, but listening to a podcast instead of the radio. So super simple thing that you can do. Instead of listening to music, find some sort of topic that you're interested in, you want to learn about, get better at. So if it's health and fitness, if it's business, if it's wealth, like income, anything related to something that you want to get better at, just start listening to somebody that has done it and walked the walk, basically, of what you want to accomplish. And that has paid, huge dividends for me, learning more about how to run a gym, learning more about, health and fitness, recovery, workouts, training, things like that. So that's my number one recommendation is turn off the radio and listen to a podcast of something that's going to help you become better and learn more about whatever topic you're interested in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a big thing that I used to do since I would drive so much from Ubly. It was in one day I could do an hour podcast and sometimes 2 hours worth of podcasts. So getting that repetition really does add up over time. You're able to learn a lot, and then you're also getting more return for your time. So everybody talks about, I don't have time, or they really value their time. Time and money are like the two most valued things by people, and one you can get back and one you can't. So maximizing your time and getting the most out of it is beneficial. So yeah, like turning on a podcast while you are cleaning or just like working around the house or something like that, just getting a little bit more benefit, a little more bang for your buck for your time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one thing I was talking to them about that's been a new goal of mine that I've been implementing is limiting social media time to like 20 minutes a day, which might seem like a lot, but I bet a lot of people would be surprised at how much time you actually spend on social media. And I feel like we've talked about social media a lot in our past episodes. But what I found for me is it has helped me to pick up my book more or to turn on a podcast more often instead of scrolling on my phone. So even like when I sit down to feed Wyatt, which I do multiple times a day, instead of grabbing my phone, I'm grabbing my book. When I'm putting him in the bath, when he's playing, instead of scrolling social media on my phone, I'm turning on a podcast and playing with him while I listen to the podcast. While I'm cleaning, I'm listening to a podcast, where I used to always have music on, which nothing wrong with that, but it's just more time learning and growing and developing and stuff like that. And then anytime I go on a walk, whether it's outside or in my house, I'm always listening to a podcast. So I guess that's one of my biggest tips is if you think you don't have time, look at how much time you're spending on your phone doing other things and see if you can kind of swap that out for some podcasts or books or whatever it is that you need to do.
Yep. I want to go back to how you started it, talking about, if you're not progressing and if you're not using trying to develop your cognitive, your brain, you lose it. And that's, you don't use it, you lose it. Same with like coming to the gym and working out. If you take a month off, you're going to lose some muscle. And that's the same thing with your brain. It works the same way. I just wanted to add that in there. But one of the podcasts, since we're kind of on podcasts a lot, which is probably the most common way of personal growth, is podcasts and books. But the one I like listening to is Andrew Huberman. And I think everybody here knows that one. But I definitely recommend it because it's not just exercise. It's not just nutrition. There's a lot of that, but it's also sleep and cognitive function, how to build better relationships, how to access your creativity and become more. There's such a wide variety of topics on his podcast, and he has the top person in their profession come on for each topic. So he's not just having somebody, on social media who's been preaching this, or, but he's having Harvard professors. He's a professor of neuroscience at Stanford. And if you think about it, it's like going into that college and sitting down in a lecture that you probably have to pay, a pretty good chunk of change for, but you get to listen on your phone for free. So I definitely recommend checking out his podcast. Rich Roll podcast is another one that I listen to quite a bit. And then also I just started reading a book, which is probably goes hand in hand with podcast, both great sources of information. I started reading a book by Peter Attia called Outlive, and his main job right now is coaching and teaching and training people to live longer. And that's really interesting because it goes into nutrition, sleep, exercise, all these different aspects that have an impact on your longevity. So
just to go off that, we could sit here and recommend different podcasts and stuff like that, and we can, but it really just comes down to figuring out, okay, what do I want to learn more about or get better at? And it's kind of like how you shop on Amazon. Like you look up the item and then what are you looking for first? How many reviews does it has and how good are the reviews? So like if you type in, podcasts on, the best fitness regimens or fitness or nutrition, they're really good at categorizing and putting the most reputable and most popular, the highest reviewed people first. So just start searching for it. And one of my mentors, speaking of podcasts, one of my mentors, his kind of favorite saying is, keep the meat, throw away the bone. So whatever you get as far as value, use that. And then wherever you don't think is valuable or you don't want to do, just leave it. So it's like you're only gaining information. You're picking out what you like and what you don't like from these different podcast episodes. So that's a big thing. And honestly, while we're on the topic of it, it goes way beyond just health and fitness. Like all of us actually, we talk quite a lot about like investing in income and like our careers. And so for a lot of these, people watching, like our average client is a busy mom or a busy dad. They're running around, they're doing a lot of things. Like how beneficial would it be to learn about investing and how to manage your money and like maybe help your kids set up accounts and set up yourself for future, like retirement, things like that. Like, so many people, I think it's like a ridiculous stat, like 70% of retirees end up running out of money before they die. It's over 50%. It's a ridiculous amount. So it's like, if you don't have time to learn about that, or you're sitting here saying to yourself, I have no idea about anything like that, you can learn. It's just an excuse. Like you need to figure out ways, maybe I should start learning about that. And it starts with 10 minutes a day.
And the information's out there.
The information's out there for free, better than a college degree sometimes. Like some of these people are experts in the field. They're not just a professor in college. A lot of those professors haven't actually walked the walk. They just know about it. They haven't owned their own business. They don't live and breathe exercise and fitness. They just know the information and they relay the information. The people on podcasts are people that have done it their whole life and they're experts in that field. They've actually walked the walk. And that's why when we talk about health and fitness, we're walking the walk. We only talk about things that we know works for us, our personal experiences, the things that have helped us get to where we are. So I'm basically telling you guys, like, if you want to learn about anything to get better, like, just find the people that are experts in it and start learning from them. You can do it for free. Another thing I do, I was just telling these guys, is like, I'll go in for lunch and I'll pop open a YouTube video and watch something, or I've got mentorship programs that I've been a part of where they have a full portal of how to learn certain things. And I'm just rewatching those videos and gaining as much knowledge as I can. And it doesn't take much. It's 5, 10, 15 minutes a day. Accumulate that over 365 days. I mean, that's a ton of hours of learning.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and kind of on that note, like the mentors and finding other people that have walked the walk and then, try to walk in their shoes. Courses is also another really good way to do that. There are a bunch of free online courses, or take the investment and invest in, maybe you go to a seminar or you go to a course and you just learn from experts, and the value that you're going to get from that will exceed the investment that you put in. So whether it is about money, finances, saving for retirement, or maybe it's public speaking, or, maybe it's like a confidence thing and you want to like have more confidence at work or something like that, career wise, like invest the money, like put that into yourself, and then you're going to grow like 3 times more because of that.
Yeah. Think of Tony Robbins. Like, I mean, he has a lot on financial, but his main thing is mindset and just confidence and believing in yourself. And he'll literally turn somebody around in a weekend. How powerful he is and how he gets you to reframe your thinking. And we talk about that a lot. Whatever you want to do in life, it really comes down to your mindset and the stories that you tell yourself. So if you can reframe those and gain confidence is just the preparation or how much you know. Like the more you know, the more confident you are. So if you don't know anything, you're not going to be confident. Mm-hmm. So start learning more, and you're naturally just going to become more confident in everything that you do. So pretty powerful.
Yeah, and I feel like that kind of goes, I was going to talk about like, I still listen and like research a lot of like health and fitness stuff, but also like being a new first-time mom, like now a lot of the stuff I listen to is like stuff on being a mom and all that stuff, and just speaking on like confidence. I feel like, because we do have a lot of moms on here that listen to this and come to the gym and stuff, and I feel like especially the first time, like there's just so much information out there about how to raise your kid, like what to do, what not to do, and I feel like it's just kind of like can be overwhelming, and you can be bombarded with all this information. And so instead of just listening to a random person like tell you how to be a mom or how to be literally whatever you are, anything, do your own research. Like literally you can go on Google and search and just get different people's opinions and then make your own educated opinion that works for you in your situation. And I think that's just something that I've really had to do with like sleep training and just everything that it has to do with being a mom, and even just like looking up health and fitness stuff as well. Like I love to, like, if I have a question about like why you do something or how something in your body works, I love to like Google it and just like, or ask Bethany, and just kind of like do your own research and just gain more knowledge and be more confident in yourself as a person.
Yep. I was gonna say that exact same thing. Do your own research, and that that goes for nutrition too, is the big one, where there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's all these people trying to become famous for their wild ideas, but not the same thing doesn't work for everybody. So some person could make the claim, cut broccoli out of your diet because it's causing whatever inflammation,
plants have defense mechanisms that they're not meant to be eaten. So then,
which is one I see a lot. So somebody can say that. Sure, go out and try it. Maybe it works for you, and maybe it does absolutely nothing. Maybe you like it. Do it. Go out, and it's trial and error. So the same thing does not work for everybody. Don't take somebody's word as the worldwide truth. Like it doesn't. It's not. Everybody's a little bit different. And there's going to be people saying one thing and then another person saying another, and so it's just important to go out, try it yourself, and then come to a conclusion on what you experience.
Yeah, I think trying it yourself is a huge part that people miss, and like I would miss sometimes too, because it's one thing to learn about all the different things, but if you don't actually try it or put it into action, like what benefit are you actually gaining from it? Like it's cool to know lots of stuff, but if you don't actually use it, it's like why have it? So it's like you could know, okay, I know what I'm supposed to do, I'm just not doing it. I do hear that a lot, and so it's finding, okay, what are you actually willing to do, and just start taking action, because that's when everything that all your knowledge can actually be applied to something, and you actually learn more and you can connect more. Like we were talking earlier, since you're going through your courses again, that's a huge part of it. Is before, like when you took your courses of selling or marketing or any of your mentorship courses, before you actually did the thing, you were just like absorbing all the basics. Like, okay, I got to do these 3 things is what I grabbed from this video, right? And then you actually went out and did it. So then you were like, oh, okay. You go back, and if you rewatch it, then you can actually apply what they're saying in the video to your experience.
Yep.
And so that's what's huge, especially like for us. I know personal trainers, like you can take the certification. There's a lot of people I know that have taken the personal trainer certification, and there's a lot of people I knew that had a CPT before I even did. And like until you're actually in it and you're actually working with people, that course, I mean, it gives you base knowledge, but it does not prepare you for the actual job requirements and what it takes to do it. Same thing with college. People could probably argue they learn more the first 6 months on their job than they did the whole 4 years of college. So like information is great, and it's awesome to like be hungry for the knowledge and continue learning and everything, but implementing it is just as important, if not more important.
Yep. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of people they read something or they listen to something and they're like, oh man, that's such a good idea, but then they don't take action on it. So that's another huge thing is learning the definition, as Alex Rosie says, is like, okay, the same circumstance, but it's a new behavior. Like, okay, you're in your daily life, but you've adopted this new behavior. That's learning and growing. If you listen to a podcast and then the next day you just do the same thing, you didn't learn anything. You're just doing the same thing. So you're not going to get anywhere. So whatever information you intake, you've got to take action on something, and just pick like one thing to take action on. And then, like she said, like after you get that, habit or behavior accustomed and you've adopted it, maybe it's, eating a healthy breakfast. So let's prep a healthy breakfast every day. That's the habit. New behavior I'm going to do after 6 weeks, 9 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever. It's a habit. You don't even think about it anymore. Okay, let's do a new one. Let's adapt. Let's take action on another behavior that I can implement. That's such a big thing. Is there's so much information out there, and people do absorb it and listen to it, but there's a whole nother thing of actually taking action on it. And I've been guilty of that too. Like I have a million ideas in my head, but I don't take action on all of them. I definitely am pretty good at taking action on stuff, because I think you guys can all agree we've tried a lot of new things over the last couple of years. I'm kind of guilty of that, but kind of like going back to what DeLorean and you guys said, it's like we got to try all this stuff out to figure out what works the best. We're going to freaking try everything until we have the best systems and services and everything. And we're getting to a point now where right now we feel like we've got the best systems and services. We've got one of the best ways you can measure somebody's body composition with the in-body scanner. We've got one of the best systems to see how fit somebody is currently and give them a roadmap to where they want to go. We've got what we feel is the best way to coach somebody to transform their life inside and outside the gym. 2 or 3 years from now, it could change. There could be new information out there, and we're never going to stop learning and growing to bring the best possible services and information to people. Just like you need to always continually learn and level up yourself inside and outside of the gym and your work and your family and things like that.
That's why I think it's super important, if you're wanting to grow personally, to be curious and open-minded and always looking and willing to learn new things. And that's, I think, attribute that we all have. And for example, this was a while ago. This was probably a couple of years ago when I was still in high school. But there was a new documentary that came out called Game Changers. Remember that?
Yep.
Yeah,
I did it
on
too.
Netflix. Yeah. So, okay, yeah. So after that, I was like, oh, this looks pretty cool. This is something new. And I was like, oh, I kind of want to give this a try. Just curious, see how I felt. And I think that's what you have to do. And so for anybody that doesn't know, Game Changers is a documentary on Netflix that talks about a plant-based diet. And I tried it, and it was very inconvenient for me because it's hard to you have to make full meals. You have to cook a lot because when you're getting these, if you try and take it easy route and you get these like plant-based meals from Walmart or whatever,
They're filled with other stuff.
Yeah. So I really did not feel good on it. And I was like, okay, tried it, and I figured out. Like I know what happens.
Like the Impossible Burgers and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's got like 70 ingredients, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I get where they're trying to go, but at what point is it like you're going the other direction?
Yeah. And just because that didn't work for me does not mean that might feel great for somebody else.
Yeah.
So
I tried it too. I did it for 2 months. I was completely vegan for like 2 months.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say I felt a ton better. But here's the thing. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to do it for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
My whole motto has always been and always will be, you need to find what will work for you that you can do the remainder of your life. If you go into a keto diet and you ask yourself, are you 10 out of 10 confident that you can do this the rest of your life? And if you're not, I would recommend trying a different approach. Some people, they can get away with it and they have great results. 80, 90% of people don't do it right and they can't do it forever, or it's restrictive and they don't get great results long term.
Yeah.
So it is definitely like trial and error. But another little tool or hack is like, okay, as I go into this, am I going to be able to do it forever?
Yeah.
If you can't, I would recommend trying switching things up, and finding the perfect plan that's going to work for you long term. Right?
Yeah, that's definitely a huge thing. Is finding what works best for you. Taking, like you said, take the meat, throw away the bone. Like, try a bunch of different things. Like we do. We try a bunch of different things. We look into a bunch of different things, and we keep the pieces that we think are going to benefit us or our clients the best, and then throw away the rest. And so it's just continually adding it each time. It's like you're trying to build this like structure, this like house of wealth, right? And you first you get your base foundation. You just keep like adding piece by piece by piece until you have like your dream home. It's just you have all the knowledge that you need to be who you want to be.
And those pieces are coming from that 5 pages a day.
Yes.
That 5-minute drive with the podcast on, and you're like, oh, that's cool. I might try it. Like, that's a good tip. Like, or even watching this, like you take one thing away. Yep. That's a piece to your house right there. That's one brick.
Good way to look at it. Yeah. All starts with building a foundation. So I love it. Do you have anything else to add, you guys? Or
I think that's it.
Okay. So I guess to finish off, like the 2 simplest ones we talked about were just while you're cleaning the house, doing chores, listen to a podcast, put some headphones in or play it over a speaker in your house. Try to habit stack it. We talk about that a lot. Like, how can we just add a healthy habit to a current habit that we always do? I do it when I drive. I also do it when I'm at lunch. So if you're at home, lunch, you have lunch break, listen to a podcast, pop open a YouTube video on something you want to learn about. The other thing would be, and this you can actually kill 2 birds at once, is shut off the TV or your phone or your laptop 20 minutes before bed and try to read 5 to 10 pages of a personal development book before you go to bed. So 1, you're getting your eyes away from screens. You're probably going to sleep a lot better. 2, you're learning stuff. And that information is going to cycle through your brain while you're sleeping. And you'll actually retain it, believe it or not. So that's just one tip that I have. I've always tried to do that is shut off the electronics, read. It helps put you to sleep, and you're learning stuff every single day. And like me, and I think you're like this too, is like I can read 5-10 pages and I'm like dozing off. So I don't read a whole lot, but if you add that up over a year, I end up reading 8, 10, 12 books a year just reading 5 or 10 pages a day. So it adds up. Like these small little investments of your time and your effort add up over time. And it pays off huge in the long run. The other thing, if you want to go a little bit above that and really learn something and take action, is what Bethany mentioned. Invest in yourself, a program, a course, a mentorship. We consider our 63-day transformation a mentorship. Like we try to teach you everything you need to know about health and fitness to build that foundation to your house that we just talked about. That way you can continue to add the pieces and create your dream life. So that's like a mentorship program right there. There's so many of them out there. There's a lot of really good ones. Obviously, do your research and make sure it's reputable and credible and you're actually learning information that's relevant and accurate. But yeah, those are definitely the top 3 recommendations for us. So hopefully this helps you guys. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out. Take action today. Start, find a book that you can start to read. Find a podcast that you can put on while you're driving, while you're cleaning, while you're eating lunch, whatever it is, and stay consistent with it. Try it for a month, 2 months, 6 months, and see how much you learn and how much difference it makes in your life. So till next time, stay healthy, you guys. See ya. Thanks again for tuning in to the Trainer Talk. If you are ready to gain back control of your health and fitness, we would love to sit down and chat with you to see if we can put together a plan for you. All you have to do is head to taylorhutchinsonfitness.net and book a free consult. Again, make sure you like and subscribe if you like the video, and hopefully we'll see you soon.